Hello and welcome to revision classes on television. Today, we will be having a session in English language. Our guide is Ruth Apuru, and our focus today is article writing, which forms part 1 of SSC English examination.
The purpose of part 1 is composition, which is otherwise known as essay. And the essence is to test your ability, how effectively you are able to write whatever we are saying. Whatever you are writing will be assessed on adequacy of treatment of subject matter. That is the question. Your approach, is it captivating? Your diction, which is choice of words, is it appropriate to the subject matter? And your clear stance, how appropriate is it? Is it argument, narrative, or otherwise? And then your balance also is taken into consideration as your script will be examined. Your smooth flow of paragraphs. Your paragraphs have to be interwoven. And then we talk about mechanical accuracy. All of this is summed up under content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. We have some sampled questions for us to examine under this. 1. Write an article suitable for publication in the national newspapers on the topic, the importance of national sports festivals. Next, some core values in your society have been eroded by modernization. Write an article suitable for publication in a national newspaper on the need to revive these values for a better society. Next, write an article suitable for publication in the national newspaper discussing 2 major problems facing your country and suggesting ways of solving them. Next, write an article suitable for publication in a national newspaper on the high cost of living, suggesting at least 3 ways in which the government of your country can tackle the problem. Write an article suitable for publication in a national newspaper on the growing incidence of drug abuse. The growing incidence of drug abuse among the youth, stating the causes and suggesting ways it can be curbed. Now, what is an article? What is an article? Article writing. What is an article? An article writing is a type of writing that is written to reach a massive audience with the help of the press, newspapers, magazines, journals, and so on and so forth. In this case, a newspaper. It requires a lot of skill in writing a good article. It is written in such a way that it can inform the mass about a certain topic. What are the features of an article writing? Features. That is, what are the peculiarities? What is it that is peculiar to an article writing? 1, we have the article should have a title and be underlined. Not too long a title. The title should be short, all in capital letter or all keywords in capital letters. Proper linking of paragraphs. Your full name and surname at the bottom right hand corner of your article. Your address and official post should be indicated. Your expression should be formal. Transitional expressions like besides, as a result, furthermore, in addition, and so on and so forth should be used. Appropriate tone must be used and be polite and serious. Used in personal constructions. Now we have the heading. Your title or headline, or the headline of your write-up, should be captivating to sustain the reader's interest. It needs to be highlighted. That is, it should highlight the general topic of what is being addressed. Now, as you are going to begin your write-up, it should have a heading, and that is what will inform your reader or your examiner what you are going to write about. Now, there's what is known as subdeck or subheading. The deck or subheading. This gives you the opportunity to have a grip on your entire readers. This part of the essay consists of 1 or 2 sentences that will leave no question on the reader's mind. It must raise the reader's curiosity to continue reading. The introduction. The ability to pin down your examiner into the story continues in the first paragraph or introduction, proving that your piece is worth reading. Use short sentences. The tone of your article should be established here. The why of your write-up is very essential. Now, the body. This section contains most of the details of the story. There should be good flow of paragraphs. Coming to conclusion. This part leaves a lasting impression, or this part should leave a lasting impression on the reader and provoke or evoke some sort of reaction. It should prompt action on the part of the reader. Note that your work will be marked on 4 aspects, which I have told you before, which is content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. Let's take question 1 and apply these features that we have just discussed. What is the requirement of question 1? You are required to write an article for publication on the importance of national sports festivals. Now, organization. How do you go about organizing this writing? Now, under organization, you have heading. The importance of National Sports Festival. Name after heading or at the end of the article. 2 ways. After the heading or at the end of the article. You have well-developed paragraphs. Logically presented. Now, expression. You use formal language. Don't attempt slang or colloquialism. Varied sentence is highly needed. You have to express yourself with at least 3 reasons or points. Here are suggested reasons for this question 1. 1. You can talk about unity or national unity or integration. That forms 1. 2. Talent hunting. 3. Opportunities for people with disabilities. 4. Socialization. 5. Business opportunities. 6. Boost economy of the nation. Now you can start this way. The National Sports Festival that begins several years ago was with the aim of promoting unity among diverse ethnic groups after the Civil War. You can continue. Now, you can begin the body this way. The importance of national sports is very fundamental to both youths and adults. Sports festival cannot be downplayed because now you pick the first point and begin to explain. After explanation of the first point, you can use another linking word or phrase. More so, you pick another point and continue. You can use furthermore and go ahead. Another reason why sports is very, very important, you can go ahead. And after that, it brings you to a conclusion. A suggested conclusion this way. In conclusion, the importance of National Sports Festival to the nation cannot be overemphasized, as the benefits far outweigh the disadvantage, if there's any. I am convinced that the National Sports Festival is a strong cord in the hands of the government in achieving a better Nigeria. Thank you. Ejekada Uga. You have come to the conclusion of question 1. Question 2, you have your title. What are the requirements for question 2? We have title examples. Erosion of some core values in our society. Mind you, question 2 talks about the erosion of our core values in society. Okay? Another suggested title is the need to revive our core societal values. Revival of our core societal values. The need to rejuvenate our core societal values. Renewal of our core societal values. These are some of the suggested titles that you can use. Now, your comprehension of the need of the question is very, very important. Any question you are attempting, comprehending it or understanding it gives you an edge in answering the question. It is the need to revive core values of your society that have been eroded by modernization. That is, understanding the question. Now, mention at least 3 of such values and explain why they should be revived. You may suggest ways of doing so. Now, here are some suggested reasons. You know why these reasons are very important? In a write-up like this, you express yourself at least with 3 points or reasons. You'll be marked based on that. But you can have more than that. So, there are some suggested reasons here. 1, moral decadence. 2, selflessness and honesty. 3, premium on wealth. 4, lack of respect for elders. 5, dressing. 6, communication, diligence. All of these are suggested reasons. Now, your introduction. You can begin your introduction this way. The loss of our treasured core societal values to modernization has been a great concern to many Nigerians. That can form one introduction. Another suggested introduction can be core societal values held in high esteem in yesteryears are nosediving as a result of civilization or modernization that has crippled our culture. You can continue using any of these reasons that have been given. You can continue this way. There has been a great increase in moral decadence as many young people no longer adhere to or believe in hard work, and as a result of that, they go for sharp business, if there's anything that way. Now, talking about selflessness. Selflessness is another core societal value that is greatly relegated to the background, and in fact, almost termed obsolete or outdated for any individual that want to uphold such. And on you continue, to express yourself. And that brings you to a conclusion. You can conclude this way. It is imperative that these core values be revived for the safety of our society, drifting into extinction. We truly need to bring to limelight a revival of these core values, for values are more important than gold. Citerima. Jonathan, you have concluded. That brings us back to, takes us back to question 3. What are the requirements of question 3? We have your titles. You need to write your title, and like I said, if you are writing your titles, either it's all written in capital letters, and then you don't underline, or it is written in small letters, but with the keywords in capital letters. I suggest that you write all in capital letters, or it is suggested and advisable that you write all in capital letters. Now the requirements. Suggested title. 1. Problems facing our country and ways to solving them. Problems facing our country, Nigeria, and ways to solve them. The plight of a nation. Problems facing Nigeria and curbing them. Problems facing our country and how to curb them. Suggested reasons. Corruption, Boko Haram insurgency and terrorism, religious bigotry, embezzlement, ethnicity, power drunk, unemployment, kidnapping, misappropriation of funds, and so on and so forth. This forms your reasons. You can pick anyone to begin to express yourself with. You can have your introduction this way. No doubt, Nigeria is a giant of Africa, but this giant is loaded with unsurmountable problems, so to speak, as it permeates right to every fabric or system of the society. The horror involved in assassination of like beings or human beings is seriously becoming a thing of the past as communication available. Some of the problems are global, while others are innate in the nation. Now, talking about the horror, the news, the kind of news we hear these days, and how it even affects the psychology of the individual. You can also highlight that and talk about it. Now, talking about the body, bribery and corruption has become the order of the day, and to the roots, and is the root of many Nigerians' problem. It is diversified and so can be found almost in all segments without exception. You can pick another point, express yourself. Talking about corruption, talking about the insurgency, religious bigotry, embezzlement, and on, you express yourself. And it will bring you to a logical conclusion. For instance, it is, however, suggested that seminars be held regularly to sensitize the teeming youth of the grievous aftermath of bribery and corruption. In the same vein, capital punishment be reached out or meted out to culprits publicly as a deterrent to others. That misappropriation of funds and masterminding of social unrest are as grave as killing human beings. Thank you. Ikulono Onyejochi. That brings you to the conclusion of that question. Now the next question. Question 4. What is the requirement? Still, we need suggested titles. High cost of living in Nigeria. The cost of living in Nigeria. High cost of living in Nigeria and how to tackle it. High cost of living in Nigeria and tackling it. The problem of high cost of living and how to tackle it. The cost of living in Nigeria. Now you can have your introduction this way. The common man is at the receiving end of high cost of living in the nation. Consequently, it directly bears on the social and economic lives of many Nigerians. No wonder. People commit suicide in different parts of the country, and a lot of lunatics on the streets for hunger and poverty. That could be your introduction. The body. To start with, the removal of subsidies has directly and deeply too dealt with average Nigerians. You can continue to express yourself. Now, having used some points to express yourself, you can come to suggested ways how to tackle it or how to curb it. Some of the ways to tackle this problem headlong is that the government must embark on mass production of agricultural products. When this is done, the prices naturally will come down and will be affordable, with the resultant effect in reduction of cost of living. Brings you to a conclusion. When the above measures or recommendations are employed or implemented, the country will revert back to the old good days of affordability and oversum. Jokwe, Andy. Lastly, we quickly go over this. Question 5. We need a title. Suggested title: The growing incidence of drug abuse among youths. Drug abuse? Drug abuse among youths. Incidence of drug abuse among the youth. The growing incidence of drug abuse among the youth and curbing it. Suggested reasons: self-confidence / inspiration, poor parenting, peer pressure, entertainment / movie industry, suppressants to overcome worries and anxieties. Suggested ways of curbing this: surveillance, monitored by parents and guardians, employment, spelled out punitive measures, screening of movies. As we come to the conclusion of this lesson, we can begin your introduction this way. The primary aim of drugs is to provide solution to an ailment as prescribed by medical personnel. To abuse is to violate or to go against the required prescription of a substance, that is drug. This monster, drug abuse, stirs the youth globally. Nigeria is not an exception. And on, you can use the point to express yourself as you bring your write-up to a conclusion. To conclude, drug offenders or defaulters should be brought to book and punished according to the laws of the land. Remande, Joseph. This brings us to the end of our lesson today.
You can subscribe to NTA series on YouTube to watch or download past episodes of revision classes on television. That's the much we can take on the program today. Do join us next time for another educating session.